What's up, millionaires in the making? Welcome back to another episode of the MITM Podcast, where we unlock success daily by journeying through the 6 pillars. I am your host, Tye Aarons, the founder of the MITM Club, and today we're talking about how discipline becomes identity. With that being said, I'll run my intro.
Caught up in them bright lights, lusting for shiny things that's golden. Everything ain't always what it seems, let it soak in. Chasing my dreams, coming apart at my seams. Best believe that the money is the motive.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the MITM Podcast. Discipline creates evidence for the self-image. Self-perception theory argues that people often understand who they are by observing what they repeatedly do. Have you ever heard of the saying, I do, therefore I am? In simple terms, when you keep showing up, your brain starts collecting evidence that says, this is who I am now. And this is important because discipline becomes identity when a repeated action stops feeling like a performance. You're not pretending anymore. It really starts to feel like proof. They say one of the most useful, one of the most real pieces of advice in existence is fake it till you make it, baby. Fake it till you make it, baby. And even though at first you may feel like you're faking it, over time, it just becomes real. For example, instead of thinking, I'm trying to save money, you become, I'm someone who manages money well. Instead of saying something like, I'm trying to work out, it becomes, I'm someone who trains. Now, repetition turns forced action into automatic action. At first, discipline requires conscious effort. You got to get up, you got to show up, you got to put in the work over and over and over again. But habit research shows that repeated behavior in a stable context builds automaticity. You automatically start doing the thing. Discipline is a bridge between intention and automation. Once the behavior becomes automatic, it no longer feels like I have to force myself. It starts to feel like this is just what I do. This is just who I am. Now, consistent wins build self-efficacy. I can never say this word. Self-efficacy is your belief that you can successfully do something. Research based on Bandura's work shows that mastery experiences are one of the strongest sources of self-efficacy. In other words, doing the thing successfully builds belief that you're capable of doing it again and again and again. This matters because identity is not just who I think I am. It's also what I believe I'm capable of. So every kept promise becomes a receipt. Every completed workout becomes evidence. Every saved dollar becomes a vote for a new financial identity. Your identity continues to form over time when behavior becomes personally meaningful. Self-determination theory explains that people can internalize behaviors over time. At first, a behavior may be external, I should do this. But with meaning, with choice and alignment, it can become integrated into the self. It turns into, this matters to me. This is a part of who I am. And that's the difference between fake discipline and identity level discipline. When you think about fake discipline, it says, I have to go to work. I have to go work out. I have to save money. Identity discipline says, this is who I'm becoming. I'm becoming someone who works out. I'm becoming someone that works well. I'm becoming someone that saves money. I'm amazing with money. And over time, it shifts. It shifts into mature discipline. And that says, this is who I am. I'm someone who works out. I can't help it. I love working out. I'm someone that's amazing at saving money. In fact, I keep attracting more of it to me, so it gets easier and easier to save as I make more of it. You know what I'm saying? I am someone that shows up authentically. This is who I am. Now, identity makes discipline easier to repeat. You see, they feed each other. Your discipline becomes your identity, then your identity feeds your discipline. Identity-based motivation research shows that people are more likely to choose actions that feel congruent with their current identity. When a behavior feels like something people like me do, difficulty becomes meaningful instead of discouraging. That means once discipline becomes identity, the effort feels different. The same hard thing that once felt like punishment starts feeling like alignment. A person who says, I'm not good with money, experiences budgeting as restriction. A person who says, I'm the CEO of my money, experiences budgeting as leadership. Sometimes you just need that slight lens shift to be able to push through. And as your identity changes, the discipline is easier to repeat. Now, discipline becomes identity through repeated self-evidence. And the process looks a little bit like this: action, repetition, proof, belief, identity, automatic behavior. Discipline starts as something you do against your old identity. Then it becomes something you do to prove your new identity. And eventually, it becomes something you do because it is your identity. Now that wraps up today's episode of the MITM Podcast. And I do want to tell you guys, there's something that we've been cooking up for a little bit. It is called the 30-day lock-in. So I know that you're already ready to have an identity shift. I know that you've been working on discipline, and many of you are struggling with it. But I want to invite you to become a discipline architect. And the best way to do that is to first master your body. So we got a challenge for you. It's called the 30-day lock-in. It's a fitness challenge. And I would love to see you as a part of this group. In 30 days, we're going to start to change our identity. We're going to go from folks that just focus on, maybe I go to the gym, I sort of work out, I sort of do this and that, to becoming someone that does work out, someone that does go to the gym. Because once you master your body, once you master what you put inside of what you eat, once you master how you move, and you show up for yourself physically, all of the other pillars that we're going to work on become that much easier. If you master your body and you master your fitness, mastering finance, family, fun, educate, everything else becomes just that much simpler. So I encourage you to join the 30-day lock-in. With that being said, I will see you tomorrow. Peace.
Give 'em that creme de la creme whenever I spit that hot